Life is a quest. Do you believe today that you are in a journey? We are on a quest. It is because the very reason that we always wanted to try new things. We want to explore new things. Now, a good example for that is gadget. I'm sure among us here has an iPhone 7, no? Or a Samsung 8. We want new things. Yun ang gusto ng buhay natin. Well, parang hindi pa rin kayo convinced that we are in a quest. Now, who loves to travel? Every one of us wants to travel. Now, a very interesting when we travel is we always look for something new dun sa places. Interesting location or tourist spot. We always wanted to try something new in our life. And comes the idea na probably some of us wants to migrate. You want to try it? Something new in our life? Or who among us wants to settle down? It's another quest in life, di ba? Parang you are looking forward to settle down and be merry. Wow, sarap, sarap. That was an exciting part. Well, that's one of the reasons why I keep telling, life is a journey, life is a quest. In a relationship, kapag single ka and you want to get married, it's a very exciting journey. Parenthood, have you seen someone na nagkaroon ng baby, first baby, na almost every day, nagpo-post siya, picture of their baby? The excitement of parenthood. And then you want to transfer career? Why? Pagod na ako dun sa boss ko. Kahit mababang sweldo, ano? Okay, you want to quest for something new. You want a new environment. Pastor, walang pogi dun eh. Kaya siguro mag-apply ako. Kahit mababa na lang ang sweldo. Well, that's a journey of life. But then again, you are just going around circle of life. Until to the point in time in our life, now you're telling to yourselves, parang paikot-ikot lang ang buhay eh. Until you're trying to ask so many questions. What do I really want to achieve? What goals I would like to set up? What is my plan? We keep asking, we keep setting goals, yet we are going back to the same level as if we did not start. We really don't know what to look for or what we want. Have you gone into that situation na parang paikot-ikot lang ang mundo? Then until it dawned on you that this journey of life is difficult. Mahirap pala ang buhay. Kahit anong setting mo ng goals, savings, plan, relationship, kahit anong planning mo, as if you will go around circle, you will go to the top, and then going back again to where you started. Have you gone into that kind of thinking? I'll teach you something. I found out that there are ants spiral of death. Ang ginagawa pala ng ants, they have this character that they want to follow the chemical traits of the other. So ang ginagawa ng mga ants, maglalakad sila, they sniff, and then naamoy nila yung pinagdaanan ng naunang langgam sa kanila, and they just keep following until they come a point in time na minsan nasa circular area lang pala sila. So they just follow and walk and sniff and follow and walk until this ant spiral of death, maglalakad sila hanggang sa mapagod, hanggang sa mag-give up, hanggang sa mamatay sila. Life is just like a circle. Sometimes you are down, very down. Sometimes you are up there. But then again, even though with so many things, so many goals you set up, as if life is just going around circle. Now, if you have this thinking that life is difficult, I want you to remember this. If you come to the point in life that you need to make a decision, that you are in a juncture and you don't know where to go, always remember that God will not let go. Maybe the very reason why our life is going around circle is because we are the one holding on to the hands of God. So tayo yung nakakapit. And because of the busyness in life, ang dami nating focus, ang dami nating ginagawa, we lose the focus worshiping God. Napagod tayo until we lost the grip. Nakabitaw tayo. Mga kapatid, what we're going to learn this afternoon is this. If we are in a situation that we don't know where to go near to God and allow yourselves to be held by God. For God will never let go. Huwag nating hawakan yung buhay natin. Hayaan natin ng Diyos ang humawak sa buhay natin. Okay? And if you are taking notes, the title of our conversation this afternoon is Out of the Loop. How can we, as Christians, or how can we, those who believe in God, how can we get out in a loop? Now open your Bible in Joshua chapter 24. I'm going to share you today the highlights or the journey of the Israelites. You know, Joshua mentions so many critical events that experienced by the Israelites. As if Joshua was there telling all the Israelites, you have to remember what God has done for us. So if you are there, allow me to read verse 1 in Joshua 24. It says here, Then Joshua assembled all the tribes of the Israel at Shechem. He summoned all elders, leaders, judges, officials of Israel, and they presented themselves before God. Joshua said to all the people, This is what the Lord, the God of Israel, says. Long ago, your ancestors, including Terah, the father of Abraham and Nahor, lived beyond Euphrates River and worship other gods. But I took your father Abraham from the land beyond Euphrates and led him throughout the Canaan and gave him many descendants. So I gave him Isaac, and to Isaac I gave Jacob and Esau. I assigned the hill country of Seir to Esau, but Jacob, to his family, went down to Egypt. So this is the scenario, exactly that moment. Joshua called the tribes, all the Israelites, the leaders, lahat po nung nandoon, tinawag niya, you have to remember, as if he's telling you have to remember, we are now standing to the very blessings of God na ipinangako niya to our forefather, Abraham. In Genesis 12, God called Abraham. Tingnan niyo po sa Bible yon. God called Abraham. Sinabi niya kay Abraham, Abraham, go to the place of Canaan, the land flowing with milk and honey, and bring all your servants, bring all your family. And you know what? Abraham did that. Abraham went to the land of Canaan. So that is the scenario. Exactly, Joshua is telling the Israelites, do you remember the calling of God to Abraham? And we are the recipient of such blessing. Pangako pala ng Diyos ito sa kanila. Long time back, God has promised that you will live in this land. And that moment, Joshua is telling the Israelites, and we are the recipient of such blessing. That is the scenario there. So Joshua continued. Then I sent Moses and Aaron, and I afflicted the Egyptians by what I did there and brought you out. When I brought your people out of Egypt, you came to the sea. So alam nating story na to, ano? The Red Sea, the crossing of the Red Sea. And the Egyptians pursued them with chariots and horsemen as far as the Red Sea. But they cried out to the Lord. Joshua is referring to the Israelites. Long time during that event, nung nandun na sila sa Red Sea and the Egyptians are following them, they don't know where to go. They are in the juncture of life that hindi nila alam kung sila pupunta. So they cried out to God, and God listened to them. But they cried out to the Lord for help, and God put darkness between the Israelites and the Egyptians. So He brought the sea over them and covered them, referring to the Egyptians. So anong nangyari, when the Israelites cried out to God, Lord, help us, hindi na namin alam ang gagawin. God did not let go of the Israelites. God put clouds between the Egyptians and the Israelites so that there is a space between them. And then God allowed the sea to be divided in the middle, and then they cross. The Israelites cross on dry grounds. So ganun yung exact scenario doon. That is the work of God. And He says, you saw your own eyes what I did to the Egyptians. Then you live in the wilderness for a long time. So exactly, now, sabi ni Joshua, natatandaan niyo ba yan? Yung uncle natin, si Moses. When they cried out to God, do you remember that scenario? Do you remember? Marami nang nagkwento sa atin. But then, exact scenario, Joshua as if kept telling critical events to the Israelites. Sabi ko, why? Bakit kaya ginagawa ni Joshua? Keep telling these critical events. Do you remember that? I brought you to the land of the Amorites who lived east of Jordan. They fought against you, but I gave them into your hands. I destroyed them from before you, and you took possession of their land. So this is the exact scenario again. Nakalaban yung mga Amorites, not only the Amorites. When Balak, son of Zippor, the king of Moab, prepared to fight against the Israel, what happened? He sent for Balaam, son of Beor, to put curse on you. But I would not listen to Balaam. So he blessed you again and again, and I've delivered you out of his hand. So parang ang scenario dito, Joshua keeps reminding the Israelites, God is blessing us again and again. No, parang sabi ko, maybe, in that moment, the Israelites already forgotten the promise and the blessings of God. No? Parang siguro ganun ang ginagawa ni Joshua. No, remember this? Remember this thing? Even the coalition of kings, huwag kayong matakot. But I will do it before you, says the Lord. Joshua continue. Keep reminding the Israelites of what God has done for them. This is one of the critical texts in our conversation. Look here in verse 11. Then you crossed Jordan and came to Jericho. The citizens of Jericho fought against you. You did also the Amorites, the Perizzites, Canaanites, Hittites, Girgashites, Hivites, Jebusites, Parasites, lahat na ng sites. No? Joshua is reminding kahit sino, whatever cities, whatever people, as long as you are with God, then you don't need to worry. God says, I gave them into your hands. And look what happened next. So I sent the hornet ahead of you, which drove them out before you. Also the Amorite kings, you did not do it. Wala ka nang gagawin, nakaupo ka lang. You did not do it with your own sword and bow. So they are in war, but then nakikipaglaban sa kanila who? It's the work of God. He sent hornets. Sabi ni Joshua, do you remember that? So I gave you the land, which you did not toil. Do you remember that? Sabi ni Joshua. I gave you the cities you did not build. Meron na silang titirahan. But do you remember that? And you live in them and eat from the vineyards and olive groves that you did not plant. Pipitas ka na lang ng prutas, hindi ikaw ang nagtanim. Do you remember that? I keep asking myself, why Joshua keeps reminding the Israelites? Maybe because the Israelites tend to forget the many blessings of God has given them Marami ng biyaya na pinagkaloob ang Diyos sa mga taga-Israelites. But then, Joshua is reminding them, these are the blessings of God. O sabi ko, Lord, are we the same like the Israelites? Do we have to be reminded of the many blessings? I know, minsan, because of the quest of life, because of our journey, because of our setting of goals, even though we have so much blessing, we set greater things. Ang focus na natin, we look on something great na ma-experience natin, and then we tend to forget the many blessings that we are receiving now from God. You know what? When we open our eyes in the morning, it's a blessing. Malakas tayo. We can worship. Buhay tayo. That's the blessing. But then, nakakalimutan natin. That's already, God has given us miracles. Why? Because our focus in life is the great things that we set before us. You know, when you look around, it's a blessing. The person beside you is your wife, your husband. We tend to forget such blessing. There are so many things God has given us. But then, nakalimutan natin the many blessings of God to us. Akala natin, Lord, bakit mo ako pinabayaan? As if God never done anything yet in our life. Kapag uwi natin, we can sleep comfortably. I-on pa natin yung aircon. It's a blessing. Minsan pupunta tayo sa trabaho natin, Monday. Parang you feel so sick. Monday, why? You're so, it's fed up with the environment, dun sa mga colleagues mo. You're so fed up with your boss. But then, we tend to forget God is blessing us. The small things that we are receiving, sometimes we flush them away as if we never received yet anything from God. Nakalimutan na natin yun. Why? Because, Lord, I want bigger things. I want greater things. As if there's nothing to be thankful. As if God has never done anything yet in our life. Do we have to be reminded of such blessing? There are so many things that we already received from God. We always have food on our table. Kakain tayo. Minsan nakala mo pagkain, basta-basta na lang yan. Chicken rice lang yan. Well, it's a blessing. That is the scenario. I believe that is the scenario. The reason why Joshua keeps reminding the Israelites, they tend to forget the many blessings that they have received from God. And then Joshua challenged them. You know, Joshua asked them, now fear the Lord and serve Him with all faithfulness. Throw away the gods your ancestors worshipped beyond Euphrates River in Egypt and serve the Lord. But if serving the Lord seems undesirable to you, then choose for yourselves this day whom you will serve, whether the gods your ancestors served beyond Euphrates or the gods of the Amorites in whose land you're living. Joshua said, but as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. What a beautiful event during that time. But you know what? As I read through this Joshua 24, I realize that they are standing at Shechem. In Genesis 12, when God called Abraham to go to the land of Canaan, the first city na na-explore ni Abraham is the city of Shechem. Naging slang na ako, Shechem. Shechem, it's the city of Shechem. So ang ginawa po ni Abraham, he put a temple and worship God. That very place. And I'm sure that through the generation, alam nila, the Israelites already knew what is life in Canaan. Kasi na-experience na to ni Abraham. It just so happened, when there was famine at Canaan, and Jacob was living in that time, ang ginawa po nila, because of famine, Jacob's family, pumunta sila sa Egypt. And they grew in numbers dun sa Egypt. Andun na si Joseph. So they grew in numbers, natakot ang mga Egyptians, then they made the Israelites become slave. That is the scenario. So here they are, slaves in Egypt. So they prayed before God, asking God, Lord, help us to get out of Egypt. God heard them. Alam natin ang story. God heard them. God brought them out of Egypt. Yung reminder ni Joshua, God brought them out of Egypt. But then, they traveled from Egypt to Canaan. It took them 40 years in their journey. And there are point in time as they traveled along the wilderness, as if they're just going around circles. They have taken so long to reach the promised land in which Joshua is trying to remind Shechem. So I ask, what happened? Why is it that the straight line, they said, if really they try to walk straight path from Egypt to Canaan, it will take only days to travel, not 40 years. So I said, anong nangyari? What happened to the Israelites? Why they traveled quite so long to reach the land of Canaan? You know what? In Joshua chapter 5, verse 6, it says, the Israelites had moved about in the wilderness 40 years until all of them who were military age when they left Egypt had died, since they disobeyed the Lord. That is the reason why they go around circle in the wilderness. God has promised. God has a great plan for them. But then, because of their disobedience in life, they went 40 years in the wilderness. Kamusta tayo mga kapatid? How are we? Earlier, we've said, probably, my life is in circle. You know, there are times in life that even though we receive the blessings of God, sometimes we never felt it, as if nothing. It's really hard to praise the invisible. Minsan hindi natin nakikita yung pangako o blessing ng Diyos sa ating buhay. You know, our heart, hindi natin nakikita yung puso natin. But then you know, the heart needs to pump 100,000 times. So much hard work ng puso natin. And it has to process 2,000 gallons of blood para tayo mabuhay. Every day. Ganun po ang ginagawa ng puso natin. But then, are we thankful? Are we taking care of our heart? Minsan na-ignore na lang natin. Minsan na-abuse na lang natin. You know what? When I try to study this text, God has placed them exactly at Shechem for them to remember that God has already a great plan for the Israelites. Mga kapatid, this place, our sanctuary, we can consider this as our Shechem. For us to remember that we are all recipient of God's blessing. Diba? We are at our Shechem. To know that God has a great plan for us. Maybe today, we are here at our Shechem. Now, if you consider this place as your Shechem, try to look around. Pag nakita mo yung mga anak mo, it's a great reminder that God has blessed us. Look at your clothes. They are new. We have to be reminded that we can consider this place as our Shechem, to be reminded that all of us are being blessed. Mayroong plano na maganda ang Diyos sa ating buhay. But the thing is, minsan po dumarating sa buhay natin, we want God like an answering machine. We call on God through prayer, Lord, help me. This is what I want. I need. Kailangan ko tong trabaho na to. I need to get out of this problem. We want God to answer our prayer. But when it comes to pruning, when it comes to righteousness, when it comes to teaching, Lord, hindi pa ako ready. But please, Lord, answer my prayer. Are we in that situation? Probably. We've been asking God, Lord, help me to get out of this difficult situation. Then sometimes God would not let us change our situation, but rather God wants to change ourselves. Think about this. There are so many questions in life na minsan hindi na natin kayang sagutin. Lord, bakit ganon? Parang paulit-ulit na lang ang buhay. The goals that I've set, it's so near, but as if I'm stuck here in between. As if such goal is so far. Parang ang layo-layo. There are so many questions. Lord, I've been working here in abroad. Working here for so many years. But then again, as if I never achieved anything. Maybe the very reason why the Israelites go around circle could be the same reason where we are in right now. We lose focus in our worship. That's why God is allowing us to go around circle in our life. So probably you've been asking, Lord, why there are so much trials? We have so many questions. Lord, bakit ako? Bakit ako yung narito? When I began to know you, bakit ngayon pa dumating yung problema? Maybe we don't know the answer. Maybe hindi natin alam why you are in a difficult situation. We don't know the answer. But you know what, mga kapatid? God has promised to the Israelites that He will send the hornets ahead of them so that He will be taking care of their enemy. That God will send the clouds to protect them. What we know today, if we are in a circle, our life is like in a circles and we don't know what to do. We want to get out of such loop. Always remember, God will give you the hornets. That's what we know. That is the promise of God. God will give you the clouds. God will be in front of you, will be ahead of you, so that He will take care of the path. That is the promise of God. God will send the clouds and He will protect you from the enemy. That's what we know. If there's no way to go, always remember that God will not let go. If we are in the point of our life that we are in a juncture and we don't know where to go, hold on to the promise of God. He will not let go. He will save you, because it's only with God we can get out of the loop of life. I challenge you, like Joshua. And Joshua challenged the Israelites. He asked, choose today. Maybe we can ask ourselves, if I am going to choose today, will I allow God to hold my hand? Or I will still go on with my life? Mga kapatid, choose today. Hold me, Lord, or let me be.